This is Justin Scoop on Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. Taking a look at SPX. And, well, surprise, surprise, we have a new all-time high. Again, uh, I didn't expect that. I thought there was definitely going to be more selling. But yeah, we went back up and made a new all-time high. Let's look at the 3 minute here. So we started, with a little bit of buying, sold off. It's like, okay, it's going. And then it started to buy up some more. It's like, okay, maybe it's just going to kind of retest. Let's actually go zoom out a bit. So it's doing this thing where is my drawing tool? There we go. Okay. So we had a high, kind of a hesitate, and then a trap. And then we sold off hard. And then we did this consolidation thing. And it's like, okay, well, even if we're going to go up some, maybe we'll just roll over. So that's kind of what I was expecting today is, all right, well, there's going to be some buying in here, it goes up, but it's like, okay, we're right back at that level. Okay, double top. There we go. We're going to break down. Nope, it didn't break down. It didn't even do that. It like didn't even get to the point that it could form the double top. Like it looked like a double top, smelled like a double top, was not a double top because it just bounced. And at this point, it's like, okay, it looks like we're kind of headed right back up to the high. And it didn't hit it here, and it didn't hit it here, and then it hit it right here, which it's just crazy that it did it right towards the end of the day. Like, it just, let me take all this back off. It just did this again, where it kind of like did this sort of thing, which it had done in a bigger picture over here, like this, and then it hit it here and then sold off. So, hey, look, we hit the all-time high again here. Are we going to sell off tomorrow? I mean, we could. I really have no idea right now. We literally just made an all-time high. If we do open up below some of this, I think that could trap. I think an hourly, there's some bullishness in here. Let's actually look at an hourly real quick. Maybe that will help us see what's going on here. Yeah, you got some stair stepping. If we gap down, if I don't even know if that's a thing, can we gap down? We could totally trap this stair step. But even right here, it's like you can see what we did yesterday. We did this, and that's supposed to continue lower, and it didn't. Like with the breakdown that we had like this, okay, we broke down, consolidate, continue lower. This is a continuation pattern. And it did not continue. And I was saying, like, we just didn't have the strength come in at all at the end of this yesterday. Like that rally at the end of the day. We didn't get it. Well, we got it this morning and then we went sideways. So this stair step is now our continuation pattern. And we should continue up right here. Or we could keep going a little bit more sideways. Same with today. We could have gone sideways and that would have shown that there's not strength. And then we would have broken down, right? Because how long can we go sideways before we're just going to break down? No, instead, we came right down to kind of this low, kind of this low, kind of this whole area where there's some support in here, and kind of this low of, I'm not really even going to call this like a triple tie, like it's not really that. And this was the high right here. So it's not even a head and shoulders. And now it just made a new high right here. So again, it can't be a head and shoulders. It's not even shaping up like it could have done that. And here's an neckline. It's not that. It's absolutely not that because we just made a new all-time high. So the one thing that I was paying attention to today, just kind of framing this for myself, is trying to make sense of this. So let me see if I can get it on the screen here. And I'm going to draw it like a fractal. Okay. So what happens on a bigger time frame happens on a smaller time frame. Okay. So my mouse bumped something. Let's try that again. Like that. And no, it was close. Like that. Okay. So we made that high up here, and then we sold down. All right. So if we draw that same thing, kind of thing, like here's the high, and then kind of like that, and then we just did that. Okay. So I'm drawing it across like 2 days here, and then I'm drawing it across like 4 hours here or something like that. Okay. So what took, 2 days here and took maybe 4 hours here is this selling going to happen next? Because that would be that, actually on a smaller scale. So that would be like that. And at this point, that's a normal S curve, right? But if we come down to say 67.30, 67.25, that's keeping with, hey, what if we do this again? What if we do that over here? And then we go up again. Like it could be a fractal setup. So, you heard it here first. Like, I don't know if that's going to play. I'm just noticing, just the similarities of, hey, we've got some higher lows, we got relative highs. We made a new all-time high, made a new all-time high here, made a new all-time high right here. This one sold off. What's this going to do tomorrow? Are we going to sell off? I don't know. But I'm just noticing kind of the fractal relationship, the fractal setup potential with kind of how that moved. So yeah, let's look at a couple options. So the calls, this is the 67.50 calls. This didn't get down to a dollar. Um, and that was right here on that candle. That's where it looked like it was going to sell off. So you were looking for it to sell. And so you weren't looking to be buying calls there. Um, but all day long, it just continued to kind of grind up. As it was doing this sort of steeper movement, that was kind of this. And then we went sideways here. So that's the sideways here. We're losing some premium with that. And then that really tanked that option. So this really pulled back like that quite a bit. Um, and then this was that same move with the 67.50 put. As this was rolling back down, it held right at the 100 here. And so that was some resistance that we had prior up here. These are more expensive on the put side, but that ended up closing out of the money. It was almost, actually, no, it wasn't out of the money for the put. No, it was. I'm sorry. It closed 67.53. So it was out of the money for the 67.50 put. So this closed at zero. No value on that. And then I think another option probably would have been better setup. I mean, at least one that came down to a dollar here. Always looking for those, but that would have been maybe 67.55, and that still closed out of the money. Or 67.60. I don't know which one actually made it down to a dollar earlier in the day. Um, but yeah, today was not the day I expected whatsoever. I'm looking for like where could have there been a better setup. Even like, so I was saying this being like a double top sort of shape, it actually set up that way on the call, made a slightly lower low to that, and then that got bought up. Um, the put's kind of harder. Just we'd have to look at different put just because it didn't really move down, except like this was some sustained selling. This was kind of some grinding lower. That was this move then, and this move. So I think a less expensive put, maybe the 67.50, would have been a better put to try and be in. That's still quite a bit out of the money down here when it's only doing that kind of move there or there. So I don't even know if that's the right one. Maybe that move, but this move, no, don't be in the 67.25. That's just too far away. Um, so yeah, if you're trading out of the money options, definitely have some rules around how far out of the money you're going to be and what you're looking for when it's moving your direction. One thing that does help I've found is, to get in on the opposing direction candle. So if we're going up on SPX, then don't get in on a bull candle, get in to a call on a bear candle. And that really helps just to make sure that you're not paying up for the option, that it's going to come back somewhat, some small amount even that you get in on a bear candle or near the close of a bear candle. So if you're on a 3-minute candle or a 5-minute candle, just wait till it's near the end of that candle. As long as that is a bearish candle to get into a call, that can help. So sometimes it's hard to do that because you got to be watching the candle, you got to be in the right candle, you got to, make sure it's going the right direction. The easier way to kind of do that is just kind of make sure you're getting in with an entry that is on a pullback to whatever price it's at or whatever price you were looking at a good base level. Look for it to pull back a little bit more. A lot of times I found that the option still pulls back more than I expected to. even after all this, doing these videos and seeing this, it's like, yeah, the option usually, yeah, you can miss it if it doesn't pull back enough, but it's very possible for it to pull back more than you expect. If you've got to stop too close, then you're going to get stopped out. Um, if you don't have a stop, then hopefully you're trading with the absolute zero setup, and it's okay that you're risking the entire option value for the trade that you're putting on. But that's just a little bit of the things that I think help. So anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow. If we have another bear candle for this fourth day now, we are alternating. So we did a little bit here, bear bull, did that 4 days in a row. Here we are, bear bull, four candle or 4 days in a row. We're alternating, but we've just gone sideways on these. This last time we went up, this other time over, where's that? Over here, we were going up. Um, Not sure the last time, probably this one. No, that was going sideways, or that was going down, not sideways. I don't know the last time we went sideways, making stair steps, alternating candles. So that's interesting. Slightly up, slightly higher because of the all-time high. Um, we closed higher than we've closed before ever. So there was some strength today. If that continues, 6,800 could easily get here. We're not in danger of getting back to the midline or getting below the midline. The 21 here is coming up a little higher. It could help us find some support there at the midline. We don't have to go lower. This could be the Santa rally already. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.